and then being in a room over and hearing it scream its head off when somebody's cracking its ribs.
Let's see, when Ali Carter came back and, also addressed it.
After Diddy wins, Ellie Carter announces who is after her. Ali Carter gave the prosecution the evidence they needed to start charges against Diddy, so he chose not to send his men to kill, despite the fact that Ali's statement protected her as a witness and endangered her life. The prosecutors never used the evidence she supplied. This is ridiculous. She provided the cops with all the information they needed to locate Diddy when they called her, Ali claims. However, because they would have had to target other powerful people in order to use the evidence she provided, they decided not to. Inside the industry, they really didn't want to do it because Diddy was exactly what they wanted. It feels like Ali's final day on Earth because she's back and pouring all the tea. See, she's not joking around. As you can see, Ali was scheduled to testify at the start of the case. When it came time for her to testify, her name was taken off the list of witnesses, and she disappeared, despite being the third victim. According to reports,
key witness in the Diddy trial has gone missing. This is super concerning because she is crucial for the case against one of the biggest names in music. She was actually going under a pseudonym like 3 other witnesses in the case, but she decided to waive that right and reveal her identity in her testimony. But now she's MIA. The federal prosecutors don't know where she is, her lawyers don't know where she is, and the prosecutors are using her testimony in the opening statement on May 12th. That's not that far away. For now, she's known as Victim 3, and she was subpoenaed, which means that she is required to be there. This all comes as the trial is finally underway this week. The jury will be selected by the end of the day. That's not that interesting. They're all going to remain anonymous. What is interesting is the list of celebrities who were shown to potential jurors to see if they knew them. Those names included Michael B. Jordan, Mike Myers, and Kanye West, none of whom were actually implicated in the case.
She had been arrested and placed under witness protection, but no one knew at the time. People actually thought she had been kidnapped since armed men had broken into her house just before this with the intention of killing her and her family. Upon going live, Ali started crying hysterically to show how afraid she is for her life and her family's lives. She even made the bold move of naming some of the people she believed were behind the attack. She adds that once she gave them her address, these people hired thugs to track her down.
You get pressured, attacked, stalked, and hunted down for your own information. You get abused and re-victimized again by people who wanted to argue a back and forth this week like that f***ing mattered. Okay, you had Stu Peters and Timothy Charles Homestead going back and forth, and nobody has even bothered. Not that I give a damn, and not that I understand that you guys are gonna be that selfish, but nobody has bothered to apologize for all the hell that has happened. But you guys were arguing back and forth, and in that meantime, we lost our home. You don't believe me? Here you go. What once was a full house, we were still paying rent on our house. What we were doing this whole time was moving everything because our house is gone. Our house is gone. This is the speaking out. What was our beautiful 3-bedroom acre home on 21225 Standing Rock Avenue, because everybody has the address, because organizations that were attached to Marks, Sawyer, and many other organizations decided to put out the address, my license plate to one of my cars, and many other of my. So here you go, you can have it, right? Because this is what happens when you speak out. This is what happens when you tell all the truth. This is what happens when you decided to stand up for the children, and when you understand that survivors don't just get to do a seminar, and when you understand that survivors don't just get to just be and show up somewhere and talk and monetize everything that they're saying. When you realize that that's bullshit, then you will understand. Look at the tactics and pay attention. Pay attention. I'm still not asking you for a damn thing but to wake up. I'm not asking you for a damn thing but just to get outside. I don't give a damn about money, numbers on my platforms. You can have all of it. You took everything. The only thing that I give a shit about right now is the fact that there is a baby in the way. There's babies in the way. There are people that I love that I can't get out of the way. What am I supposed to do when the people in the authority that you're supposed to go to, you can't go to them?
When the trial concluded and Diddy was found not guilty of the RICO charges, Ally was finally allowed to go back to her family. The first thing she did was go live and scold the prosecution for playing in her face. Ally claims that the Fed won't let her testify after learning that the proof she possessed more closely related to Diddy's claims of child trafficking than the freak-offs. The bulk of the witnesses the prosecutors brought, as you can see, did not address his offenses though. They wanted him to tell us how much he loved to stress out, more than anything else.
Witnesses on the case. And I don't know if they even got through all of those witnesses, but Maureen Comey is the prosecutor of this case, on this case in New York City. And she never asked about the children. And you know, there's so many people who wanted me to be a witness on this trial, and I want to explain jurisdiction.
Those who had been calling for Diddy's release were also attacked by Ally because Diddy still had dependent children. When Diddy made this decision, she claimed he didn't care that she was also someone's child. You should write her an essay when you're 15. At the age of 19, he also had no trouble managing Cassie. Nonetheless, we're supposed to feel terrible for his kids.
Everybody that is ready to free Diddy and be on the side of pedophiles, they keep calling Sean Combs' children, his twin daughter and his other daughter, You with me still? Yes? Okay. They keep calling them kids. The twins and the daughter is kids. They don't need to be in the case because they're kids. Cassie Ventura was not called a child. Everybody tore that woman apart because they saw a pregnant, grown woman sitting on that trial telling her story that everybody covered up as she was 19 years old. People are addressing Sean Combs' kids as kids, but they won't address Cassie as a kid when this happened to her. Do you understand what I'm saying? I was 15 years old when I had dealings with Sean Combs. She was 19. You get me? Okay? We're not talking about the other children that were on this case. Now, as you guys are saying, I told you, the justice system is rigged. I don't know how many ways people need to say that, see it for themselves, research it, dig on it, and not understand that the justice system is rigged. And we've been saying that since the beginning. We went through court cases. We went through private investigators. This is how we have the insurance and the documents and the things and the receipts that we have, because we have been through this so many times before, where the victim is the one who gets the most hell and the predators walk.
I asserts that the prosecution cleared Diddy of the charges. The federal government knew about Diddy's strange conduct and unlawful activities as early as the 2000s, she noted, but they let him go until Cassie's lawsuit compelled them to act to placate the public. From the hotel employees to a large number of people cleaned the rooms after the horrifying incidents. Bodyguards were bribed to blow up cars and kidnap people. The hotel management even deleted CCTV footage. And the DA initially tried to deny Diddy's illegal acts until the lawsuits started to surface. Despite knowing, many chose to remain silent because they believed the funds they were getting from him were.
The FBI covered it up for how long? This case was back in 2000, early 2000, right? So let's talk about who's guilty here. The DOJ released a video that at first everybody said they couldn't find a video of Cassie Ventura being. They couldn't find it. It didn't exist. You saw one clip, and then you saw DOJ release another clip to the news. So the DOJ had that clip to begin with. So the people who are telling you that they don't have the Epstein file, they're full of shit. What other way do you want me to explain that? They're lying to you. The ones that are telling you, Pam Bondi, that she only had a little bit, it's bullshit. Bullshit. Because they told you the same thing, and now you're seeing it with the Sean Combs case. They told you they just had a little bit of a video, and then it got released. That's on the DOJ. They lied to you. They told you that nothing happened, that this man, Sean Combs, was just this rap mogul that everybody loved. No, he couldn't have hurt nobody. He couldn't have did anything. And then all this stuff came out. Well, he did that. But yeah, he couldn't have did anything else. And then something else came out. Okay, well, maybe he did that too. But he couldn't have did anything else. And then something else comes out. How many people did you hear say, I left the party early? I knew about abuse. I knew about children being there. I knew about him the hell out of females. I knew about the parties going on with multiple people, so it wasn't just Sean Combs. I knew about all of that, but I left early, so guilty. How many people did you hear say about Cassie Ventura that I knew that she was being abused? I knew that she was wrong. I knew what he was doing, but I'm just now speaking about it. Guilty.
Coward.
How many maids did it take to clean up a penthouse suite? Know that there was blood and glass everywhere, but they kept their mouth shut because they got paid. Guilty. So we're not talking, let's go back down to the bottom. The hotel manager that you guys never seen his face at first of this hotel, he heard the beat. He heard the screaming. He knew what was going on. He knew that Sean Combs was in there. He knew that he had other girls with him. He knew what was going on. He had the footage. He talked to the security. That hotel manager is who took that footage from the security and said, okay, hand me some money or help me be quiet. I'm going to shut the hell up. You did not hear anything from that hotel manager until now. But they told you, that hotel manager, if you would have went back then, they would have told you, no, we don't know anything. Cover up. Guilty. The security that were on shift that night, that knew about this footage, that knew he dragged her down the hallway, that knew he kicked her in the back and all over the place. The hotel security that knew about that, they looked away. They got paid off. Guilty. How many ways now the FBI that have had all of this information for a really long time looked away from it as well.
LI was initially more concerned about the suspected abuse of the youngsters Diddy was bringing into the country illegally than she was about the freak-offs. As part of their rituals for radiant youth, she said, these celebrities abducted and sacrificed some of those kids. Worst of all, they were chained in metal the entire time. Period. Ali said that while working in the field, she saw all of these instances, and most of these young individuals died. However, she did not specify the location of these ceremonies, and the small number that did certainly did not come out the same way.
Right now, I think a lot of people are not ready for someone to tell you that there are 3-4-year-olds that people take pride in sticking bars up children. I don't think people are going to be able to stomach the fact that people tie 2, 3, 4, 5-year-old children to horse stables and have horses and dogs race them, and then they get off on that. I don't think people are going to be able to stomach the fact that people hang children upside down in satanic ritual abuse meetings, and they literally hang them. Literally, by metal prongs, they hang them to get blood dripping out of them, and people go up under and like you're under a rainfall to take their blood. There are situations that I don't think people are ready for. We're not touching the seriousness of trafficking. Like the videos that I've made, the videos that I've started to make, this is not even touching. This is the gist of it, and I think so many people are quick to raise a sign and say adrenochrome, but you don't know what it means, and you don't know why it's such a thing, why it's such a strong thing in trafficking, and how what makes it so strong. What, you know that they're drinking children's blood, but you don't know what they're doing to those children to make their blood strong enough to cause something to flip your system in order to keep you in the fountain of youth. No one believes that because it sounds like an unreal horror Disney movie that someone wrote. You know what I'm saying? It kind of is.
The fact that these underprivileged kids had to go to those events without their parents or other responsible people present caused them to suffer from trauma for the rest of their lives. What's even stranger is Eli's assertion that some of Diddy's friends pick a particular set of male kids because they like douche babies. Food is deliberately offered to them during the freak-offs, causing terrible diarrhea and upset stomachs. As if the fact that they would make these men lie in their own feces and record it wasn't terrible enough.
She Watching an episode called Pig Night. When I went, they tried to feed us, and I remember it because when
Pig
you
night.
have to do
Say what?
orders, jobs like that, you don't eat. You're not allowed to eat. You actually have to like starve yourself, because when you have to do those type of jobs, you can't eat because you will throw up.
Really?
If you are doing, or if you are a guy doing it, you will shit everywhere.
Oh boy.
When this happens, your parents will get mad at you. Really mad at you. And if that is a fetish for someone, they use that to their advantage. So if you throw up on someone, you will have to eat it. If you on someone, you'll have to let.
Rumor has it that Diddy isn't the only one that is targeted like an animal. Because Li divulged the secrets of many other influential people in the field, they are now hunting her down as well in an attempt to silence her permanently. On her latest webcast, she sobbed as she discussed how her life has been in danger ever since she came back from witness protection. Like everyone else, there were differing opinions, such as the one who stated they all need to go to prison. The money is always in the middle. Awful. You should stop following these individuals. It's so clear that something is wrong in this case, but so many people don't want to know what's happening, a different individual stated. Their sole desire is to be content with their ignorance. But now I'd want to hear your thoughts. What do you think of Diddy's efforts to court Li Carter? Is it likely that Li will survive this ordeal? Please feel free to share your opinions in the space provided below. Remember that you can watch this other explicit film by clicking this link.